problematic. I know, that term has been used and abused by the wrong crowd for the past few decades, but in this case, it is true in a very real, legal, and tangible way. Recently, they updated their terms of service to allow for charging customers if they post something that PayPal finds objectionable or fake news. Keep in mind that PayPal isn't even a social media platform or a posting platform at all. While I can understand a company refusing to do business with an individual if they send money to an organization they find evil, such as a terrorist organization or drug traffickers, that is entirely different than trying to fine or charge people money as if they were a government able to punish actions arbitrarily. This is part of a larger trend where government-private partnerships collude to control public discourse. This allows those in power to say, "We didn't legislate morality, and we didn't restrict free speech," all while having the same controls. Their cries of, "It's a private company, they can do what they want," ring hollow when the moment a slight conservative took over Twitter, they began calling for government oversight. They don't want companies to be free to do their own thing. They want their views forced upon the general public with no legal repercussions, so they use businesses controlled by the government rather than the government itself. There is a term for authoritarian government practices applied through control of private entities. It is another overused word, but economically and logistically speaking, that is what fascism is. What is even more weird is how the timeline of PayPal's policy change played out. First, they released new terms. Then, after public outrage, they immediately put out a press release saying that it was just a rough draft, and they never intended to implement it. They then waited a month for the hype to die down and quietly updated their terms to reflect the supposed rough draft they never intended to use, which ironically makes their press release about it fake news. And if the world was fair, all their users should be able to fine them $2,500. I find it hard to believe that PayPal thinks it can get these charges to hold up in court, but since possession is 9/10 of the law, and the people they are targeting receive payments through PayPal, they essentially have a guaranteed pool of funds to snatch. While this policy may not be intended to go after the average consumer using PayPal to buy things, and they may not be able to reach into your bank account for their fees right now, that may not always be the case. If those in power find it convenient to expand their partnerships with companies like Facebook, TikTok, and PayPal, they could make it legal for companies like PayPal to charge your credit card for their made-up speech punishment fees. And that is what these are, censorship in terms of punishing speech they don't like with fees. If you park where the government doesn't want you to park, they may fine you. If you say something that those in power disagree with, they may have big tech fine you. This stinks of social credit. PayPal's fee isn't itself social credit. At most, it is an overreach by a powerful company that thinks way too much of itself and what it can do to its customers. But it is a component of the types of systems that would be needed to give a social credit system teeth. In fact, it is very similar to how China uses its social credit system. The government itself doesn't exact direct punishments, but uses its power to prevent you from using private services or have them levy punishments on the government's behest. The reason this is so dangerous is because those in power are currently pushing the central bank digital currency, or CBDC, which is the big government answer to crypto. This subject deserves its own video, but it will suffice to say that government hates cryptocurrency for a myriad of reasons. The first is it provides an alternative to the fiat currency controlled by the government. For the uninitiated, fiat simply means that money has value for no other reason than the government says it has value, and we all believe it or pretend to believe it. Crypto is also backed by nothing but belief, but in many cases, it has the added benefit of limited supply that cannot be inflated at will like government currency can. Even miners of Ethereum and Bitcoin came up against the limits on the total quantity allowed by the system. It is harder to tax and track what you spend crypto on. So in the government's eye, the solution to this is the CBDC, a digital currency that they control. They can manipulate as they see fit, and they can track completely for both tax and individual surveillance. A CBDC is an essential building block to a social credit system because it lets the government know literally everything you do with your money, who you send it to, how long it sits, everything, all in one easy to control place. And if you tick them off enough, they can delete your money or turn off your wallet. This isn't pure speculation. The CCP already has the ability and does this to the Chinese people. They are even using an app very similar to PayPal and probably inspired by PayPal. So PayPal putting these fees into their terms is almost like the system coming full circle. Additionally, this allows government and megacorporations to hold small businesses ransom. And there is nothing that government and megacorporations hate more than successful small businesses. They are independently minded, they don't respond well to government regulation, and those in power can't change billions of dollars worth of activity by calling a single, well-placed person. This is also the primary target of PayPal's terms change. You see, small businesses who use PayPal have thousands to millions of dollars passing through their accounts every month as they pay for materials and are paid in turn for goods and services. PayPal has a habit of randomly freezing people's accounts for months at a time, sometimes permanently. If you have $300,000 in that account and PayPal freezes it, you can't replenish inventory to keep your business going. Most small businesses don't have enough cash on hand to last a few months without their accounts receivable. So when that is frozen, their business almost instantly grinds to a halt. PayPal is literally a mega corporation holding the kill switch for thousands of small businesses, and their terms change is clearly designed to make them an easier and more flexible tool for their social and political overlords. The fake news and false information fee isn't the only change they made to their terms, and it won't be the last. Authoritarians seek to control your behavior by controlling your wallet. As authoritarianism moves into the new era of public-private partnerships, we are forced to keep watch over our digital wallets in addition to our physical wallets. They want your cash, they want your gold and silver, and they want your Ethereum and Bitcoin. Because they truly believe that if they can get you to use their worthless and controllable dollars and CBDC, they can get you to own nothing and be happy. But you won't be happy. You will be a slave. So in a very small act of defiance, I personally cut up my PayPal card and shut down my PayPal account. It actually took an entire month of back and forth with PayPal and lawyers to get them to shut it down. In the grand scheme, this is one of the easiest acts of rebellion. It cost me no blood, no substantial money, and no sweat or tears, just some time. There is nothing new to what they are doing. Power always seeks to control the money of the little people. The only thing new is the form this cash and power grab is taking, and all we have to do is stand firm and reject it. Use services that stand firm on individual freedom even if they are a little less convenient, because I guarantee they will keep trying to take your money and will find new ways every year, every decade, and every century to get more control over you. It doesn't matter if it's PayPal in California or an interstellar mining corporation trying to pay you in digital chits that can only be used at the company's space station. They will always do this. We need to be aware of what is happening, but we also can't fall prey to end times thinking. Our situation is unique to us, but it isn't special. There is no final victory or defeat when it comes to control or the form of money. Only the new form that battle will take. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.